Pretty Dudes, the novel, written by C.S.R. Calloway, narrated by Carlos Latorre. I've drifted off to sleep, Jay's calves cradled in my hands. The television's still on, now playing a film starring someone who used to be on a children's show, one that I loved back when I was its target demographic, and is faux edgy now. I look over and Ellington's asleep in the chair. One of his own legs swung over the armrest. I lift Jay's legs, moving beneath and around them to freedom. As I walk past his head, one of his hands rockets up and grabs my thigh. Holy fuck! I scream whisper. What time is it? He asks, opening one eye. It's almost 5, I reply, prying his fingers loose. How long did you sleep? Like 2 hours, I think. Don't go to bed yet, he says, sitting up. Shh, I caution, pointing to Ellington. Jay looks, makes a face, then grabs the alcohol. You working tomorrow? Oh, fuck. No, but I'm not trying to turn up tonight, Jay. He ignores everything after the first word. My room. We'll watch a movie. He never makes a big deal about his bedroom, but Jay doesn't make a habit out of inviting the rest of us in there. I've been sent in there on occasion to grab an item or two, but usually that's his sacred pulpit, fit only for himself and for the women he worships. I'm excited about the prospect of hanging out in his space, though. It feels like the final frontier of our friendship. Let me brush my teeth, I tell him. I've got sleep mouth. Yeah, that's fine, he says. Get comfortable. Comfortable is an understatement. I put on my favorite pajama set with matching socks and grip my stuffed animal, a blue-gray dog named Luna, under my arm. Jay opens the door in his boxer briefs. Looking immediately at the stuffed animal, he shakes his head. Don't bring that in here. What if we watch a scary movie? You've got a whole-ass man standing here and you think you're going to need a plushie? Moments later, I enter his lair, Luna-free. His room reminds me of a classy Vegas bar that Ellington took us to once. One of the quiet ones, hidden on a floor you could only access from one section of another floor and tucked away from the high traffic and thumping music. Everything in his room is gray, black, or burgundy, like the solid colors of the walls or the curtain completely covering the wall that has his one window. His platform bed is inset between his cabinets, framed with embedded LED lights that illuminate his satin sheets. Jay hands me a remote and tasks me with selecting a film from his extensive pirated library, currently displaying on his flat screen. I sit on, then sink in his bed while he retreats to his desk, rolling a fat blunt. Are you picking a scary movie? He asks over his shoulder. I click off the Scream franchise. Guilty. No, I was thinking action. Maybe the only Mad Max we acknowledge. Fuck Mel Gibson, Jay mutters, just before licking the tuck of the wrap. Or a John Boyega flick? Good options, he says, setting the joint aside. You want some whiskey? The sun is almost up, I protest. So? He says. You gotta taste this. I really don't gotta, I reply. He walks over to me holding a bottle of imported brown in his hands. What if we're some kind of mythical gods whose celebrations bring the fires that light the sky into morning? What if we're the reason the sun even rises? Our light, our heat, our blood? He stumbles drunkenly into me, and I steady him with a hand on his waist that he swats. He straddles my thighs and raises the bottle. I stare up at him. Are you writing poetry or fanfic right now? On a typical human level, nothing about Jay is comforting except his presence. He's still, like the surface of a river. You might mistake it for calm, but there are all sorts of battles raging beneath that occasionally erupt above. I've grown to be skeptical of his calm, and I suspect he knows this. He always seeks out physical contact with me, almost as a way of letting me know I'm safe. If the venom spews, it's never in my direction. It's not just the act of touch, it's how he does it. Most of the time, it's simple, surface to surface contact, but on drunken occasions like now, it's intimate, tender. He grips the back of my skull and gently tugs my head. Open your mouth. I obey, and he pours in far too much. My throat doesn't betray me, and I gulp it all down. It travels smoothly, and I only feel the burning after. I squint as my chest turns to magma and it races up to my forehead. His eyes take in my face as he absently traces my Adam's apple with his thumb. There's the sun. 3 more shots. The entire blunt. A quick run to the 24-hour donut shop under a brightening sky, and a half dozen donuts later, and I'm asleep before John Boyega saves the universe, which I'm assuming is how the movie ends. I wake up as the credits roll. Sitting up, I bump shoulders with Jay, who's been watching me at least the whole time I've been conscious. Your bed is so comfortable, I say, meaning it as an apology. The sun's up, he says, and for a moment I think he's still talking about me. You can go back to sleep. I don't care if you stay here. I stretch, but slumber has a tight grip on me. You don't mind sharing? As long as you don't mind me being naked. This pulls me into lucidness. You sleep naked? He raises the remote and mutes the television. Don't you? He gets out of bed and places the remote on his desk. I do, sometimes, but not with friends. He turns back to me. You can go to your own bed if it bothers you. This is my room. I do what I want. If you're not bothered, I'm not bothered, I say. Then shut up about it, see? It's only a big deal if you make it a big deal. He tugs at the waist of his boxer briefs. Like this. He turns back around to face the wall, pulling the shorts lower as he bounces his hips back and forth. Bung, 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 he sings, looking over his shoulder at me. Mr. Sandman, bring me a cream. Make it the thickest that I've ever streamed. He pulls the underwear down just below his butt, wiggles his ass, and then covers back up. I don't have any dollar bills on me. I laugh. Sandman, he continues, I'm so turned on. Don't have nobody that I can bone. He strips completely out of his underwear, tossing it into his hamper. Leaping on the bed next to me, his knees drive into the sheets and his arms punch into the air as his genitals swing in an impressively balletic circular motion. He bellows now, and I'm glad the others are on the opposite side of the house. Please let loose, my nightly seaman. Mr. Sandman, bring me a creamin'.